Hello, as promised, I'm Susan Jane and I'm back here to talk to you about the real basics of intuition and what it means, or spirituality. So one of the things that I'd like to make sort of clear is I look at religion as the teachings of the learnings, and I look at spirituality as the experience. So we can learn to ride a bike by reading all about it and getting an understanding of it and knowing that the wheels do this and the pedals do that. But we don't know what it's really like to ride a bike until you actually experienced it, until you actually get on the bike and you do it and you feel the wind in your hair and the exhilaration and the positive feeling of actually achieving something. So that's how I see religion and spirituality. That's how I see the two differences. One is definitely a teaching. We go through the books, we go through the understanding of it, we go through all the learnings. The other side of it, the spiritual side of it, is actually the experience. Now, I bring this forward because you'll see a little video that I put out there, real basic one, about our two bodies. So we have the spiritual being and we have the human, physical human. When they come together, they create a human being. So one's all the spiritual aspect of it, and one's all the human physical aspect side of it. Now, as they come together and they create this human being when they're early in the womb, the spirit has a purpose, an understanding of what they want to achieve, and the physical has an understanding of what they want to achieve too. So as you can imagine, the physical has gone through all the DNA, all those generations after generations after generations, holding on to some of that information that sits in the cell and moving forward further and further on, holding on to emotions, holding on to other aspects that they're going through generation after generation. The spiritual, on the other side, is going through lots of learnings. Now, one thing you have to remember about the spiritual, and this is what people don't quite understand, because it's a different realm, because it's spirit, it's energy, they don't have the five physical senses. They don't touch, they don't taste, they don't smell, they don't see, they don't hear. They know. So they have the knowings. They have all that knowings, all that learnings, all that understanding. But they can't experience it until they come into a physical body. And that is what it's all about. Intuition is talking from the physical, or information, messages, whatever you want to say, communication from the physical to the spiritual. That is what it's all about. That is why intuition is so important, because it is connecting with your spiritual being, and your spiritual being is connected with every other spiritual being. They're not individuals, they're a collective. We can call it God, we can call it universal energy, we can call it Archangel Michael, we can call it whatever we want to call it. It doesn't make any difference. What happens in the physical side of our bodies, we resonate with different people. People attract us, people don't necessarily attract us. So we resonate with different people for different reasons. And I don't just mean attraction on a physical sense, because there's a lot of attraction on a deeper level than that. So we have this happening in the physical side, but you've also got to remember that also happens on the spiritual side. So when people say that they hear from their angels, or they hear from their parents, or they hear from intergalactic beings, or they hear from God, or they hear from universal energy, it is all the same. But it's what you resonate with. Because if you don't resonate with that in the spiritual realm, then it doesn't make a lot of sense to you in this area. So as spiritual beings, we are all connected. This is what the big connection's all about. We are all connected as spiritual beings. As physical, we're connected in a different manner. We're connected through the physical. So we're all interconnected along the way. And that's why we need to look after our fellow man. We need to look after each other. So this coronavirus, this pandemic that we're having is all about us coming back to ourselves and understanding who we are and what we are and where we're going in order to help the greater community. So it is an awakening. It's an intuitive awakening. It's an awakening of our spirit, awakening of an understanding of us, of who we are. And that's what's really important. Now, when intuition is interacting, and I'm going to go into a lot of this in further detail, and each day I want to be able to bring something forward for you to give you that aha moment. But today, it's all about understanding that we have a physical body and we have a reason why we've got that physical body. Spirituality is wonderful, but it's no better, no different to the physical aspect either. We are here for a reason. Our spirit needs our bodies to be able to achieve the experience that it is looking for. Because spirit knows, but is not experiencing it in the same way that we experience it through the senses, through the physical senses of the body. So that's my biggest message for today. That's what I want to get across today. I want feedback on what you feel it is, because I see it very, very clearly as a physical, and the reason behind it is I've got that experience too, and I'll go through that later. I'll go through that in the book. But it's all about today is about knowing that there's a physical body, there's a spiritual body, they come together. There's a physical human, there is a spiritual being that comes together that creates the human being. Intuition is the information the spirit is trying to share. It's that communication between the physical and the spiritual. That's what intuition is. So whether you're getting that from your angels, your parents that have passed, your God, your chi, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter how you're getting it. Intuition is that communication between them. You could be driving down the road and there's something on the radio. One person heard it, one person doesn't hear it. And that is because your intuition has directed you to hear it or has not, because it's not important for one spirit or the other. So this is what it's all about, being mindful, being aware, and knowing. So get your head around that. Get your head around that God is part of you, that Archangel Michael is part of you, that Raphael is part of you, that everything is part of you. And we don't have to beat ourselves up then. We can just go, okay, I've got my learnings. My spirit's got its learning. It's going to be directing me this way and that way. And it's not so airy-fairy. It's more real. Spirit needs to be grounded in our physical bodies to get their experiences. We need to look after our physical bodies to be able to achieve that too. Because when the spirit's achieving it, you will feel good. You will feel good. It is a different level. So I'm Susan Jane. Thank you for listening. I hope that helps, and we'll just go from there. I might do a live later on tonight, and we can, but I'll hold on to this so we can put these videos on the YouTube channel, and at least then we can come back and look at them and revise them and see where I'm going wrong. Or where I could be going right. Who knows? I'm getting all the downloads in the morning, so I want to try and do this in the morning if I can. So all the very best. Take care, stay safe, and we get through this. We can do it. All right, bye for now.